Alright, stoked for this video. The star of the video is the Kai Bartlett Vega Surfski. And this ski is known as a great downwinding boat, but I'm telling you what, it's fast in the flat water too. Also want to share a little bit of our home here in North Carolina. We have lots of water to paddle in. Our favorite downwind run starts at Fort Fisher. This is a Civil War fort that guarded the port of Wilmington, North Carolina, and huge mounds of sand where they would put gun mounts and to protect the blockade runners that were bringing in supplies. But the star of the video is the Vega Surfski. Kai Bartlett of Kai Bartlett makes this boat. And I've been paddling surfski almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in August. I have a background in surfing, stand-up paddling, and lots of time in outrigger canoe. In fact, oh, there goes Rod. That's a cool camera mount he's been experimenting with. So I jumped out of the boat to mess with the camera and showing you that it is possible to remount in the ocean, although it's pretty calm there, as you can see. The bucket's quite deep, so when you're remounting, that might be a challenge at first, but that deep bucket is really helpful in the downwind conditions. There goes Rod again with that camera mount he's been experimenting with. Here's Greg Green and myself. Both are in the Vega Surfski. And here is the run. It's about 9 miles of downwind. You can see we paddle upwind about 2 miles there on the map, and then we turn and go downwind for about 9. Great looking boat. I really like it. I'm learning with every paddle to increase my leg drive, my balance, but this was like my second paddle and I'm already in the bump, so I'm pretty stoked with that. Big smiles. You can see I've put the PVC pipe tape on the rails to protect the boat from my paddle. Kai has a lot of the same qualities as the Ares OC1. The Ares has built up quite a reputation as a great downwinding boat. So he used that knowledge to make the hull for the Surfski. He makes the Vega, which is what you see here. He also makes the Vega Flex, which is a little bit wider than the Vega. Pretty stoked, throwing some shakas. So here I am, I'll get some good footage of Greg Green. And this guy is 65 years young. And one of the coolest things that he told me when he was in town for our downwind clinic, we call it a clinic, he was putting on a clinic, we were learning from him as much as anything, but one of the coolest things he told me was that at 65 years old, he's still getting better. And I find that so refreshing and so cool to hear. Check him out flying by me there on that bump. That's so cool. Yeah, so he's still getting better, and that's what I want to do. That's what we all want to do every single time we go out, and you know, regardless of your age. Yeah, the Vega is really good. I would say that for an elite level boat, it's quite stable, and I think it's just going to get faster and more stable for me as I improve with my leg drive. So some things about the boat. it's got a great volume up front. You can see there in this clip, neither one of us have a splash guard. Neither one of us feel like we need a splash guard because the boat runs really dry. It doesn't get a lot of water up and over that nose. It's got a very narrow nose, so it pierces the water really well. The rocker is very well suited for surfing. I like the Velcro for the foot strap. You can adjust the Velcro in two parts. So if you wanted a little tighter on the left foot or a little tighter on the right foot, you can do that. The other cool thing about adjusting the foot plate is that you can change the foot plate by even just 1 millimeter. You're not limited to holes like on some other boats. You have like a hole every centimeter or whatnot. So that's a pretty cool feature. And one of the things that a lot of people were asking about, or sort of like not sure about in the very first Vegas that came out, was the plunger drain system. And in my boat, I guess it's sort of the second edition, there's not a plunger system to drain the cockpit, which I like the fact that there's not. It's a Venturi valve, so it's similar to my OC1. There's the map again. We were about halfway through the run at this point. Man, look at Greg go. So Greg and I both prefer not to have a plunger system. Water comes in, it drains out the Venturi valve, no problem. So I think that issue has been resolved, which is pretty cool. The other thing that he added was a little more bungees where you can see where my watch is, so that's kind of cool. I like that. The hull design is the exact same as the first Vega that came out. I think he just made little improvements with the bailer and the bungees. Yeah, so it was so fun going back and forth. I mean, there was probably like 10 minutes on this run where Greg and I were just back and forth, and that is so fun. You can see a good picture there again. So a little bit of water coming over the nose, but not much. I mean, it runs dry, which is good because that means it just surfs. It doesn't get bogged down in the water. It doesn't nose in. This boat surfs so good. Love downwinding. So there I was trying to make a decision if I should cut across the back of Greg, but I didn't want to run the risk of us colliding. So I felt like this was a great way to get some footage and then find some good bumps behind him. Yeah, so the other cool thing about paddling surf skis, I'm finding, especially as I get more experience, I'm able to link more bumps together as compared to the OC1. Just the overall average speed on a surf ski is higher. Not having the AMA gives you a lot more freedom. And just a ball. Look at that. Go, Greg. Big smiles. Yeah, I'm also learning to be patient. So you can see here, just kind of slow my pace, wait for the next one, and then apply more power to follow this bump. The downwinding is cool. It's a lot of sprinting, a lot of cardio involved. The OC1, I find that I have to apply more power, whereas the surf ski seems to be more cardio. And one of the cool things about watching video of yourself is it really helps you improve. You can see my leg drive there. That's getting better with every paddle. You know, a lot of people on the beach, they're like commenting and they're like, that's a cool kayak. It looks like fun. What a great upper body workout. And it is. but people don't realize how much your lower body is involved in your legs. And oftentimes my calves and my quads are sore, and I think that's a good sign. The other cool thing about watching video of yourself is I've noticed that the longer the run, the more I use my legs. It's almost like I'm learning in that first few miles. It's reminding myself, hey buddy, gotta use the legs. And as the run goes on, I use more and more legs. There's Greg and I just trading back and forth. So much fun. So impressed with that guy. A good bit older than me. Really just showing me how to surf and giving me a lot of stoke that it doesn't matter your age, you're always getting better. Yeah, thankfully the surf wasn't too big that day when we were coming in. You gotta have some camouflage pants if you're from North Carolina. Yeah, so Greg showed me this. You can put your paddle in the fore and aft bungees, and then it's a great idea because it gives you, then you can have both hands to grab the surf ski, because when it's super windy, you need both hands on that boat. And,
Rob, there's room over here. But for about 10 minutes out here side by side. Yeah, just trading.
Greg talking about how we were trading back and forth for 10 minutes. Yeah, so if you're in the market for a surf ski, check out the Vega. It's super awesome. Thanks, guys.